Voting systems. It's the way individuals express what they want and how we all decide who to elect for an office. The tricky part is taking everyone's opinions and deciding on a winner that people are happy with. Well, what we're currently using in a lot of places, called first past the post, gives the win to whoever has the most votes, called the plurality. But that's not the same as the majority. The winner might only have a third of the votes, and most people will be unhappy with the outcome. Groups of voters will join forces and pick a single candidate to up their chances of winning. And people who don't like that option as much will pick another popular candidate and join forces there to oppose the one they don't like. We end up with two options that only vaguely represent what people actually wanted. Look at how the candidate in the political middle got the fewest votes. Candidates with the more extreme positions attract both extreme voters and moderate voters on their side, while candidates in the middle are only left with the remaining moderates. Any system that favors top picks so much will run into this issue. In the US, to elect the president, each state gives electoral votes to the plurality winner, not the majority. That's why people are worried about throwing away their votes on a third party. So, something else would be better. One alternative is called ranked voting. Voters list candidates in order of how much they like them, so first pick, second pick, etc. This lets people support candidates they normally wouldn't be able to, while still stating their preference between the more popular guys. Then, if an unconventional candidate turns out to be the favorite, they'll win. But voting for them won't risk giving the election to your least favorite. There are a few ways to count ranked votes. The most common one, the one people usually refer to in the US when they say ranked voting, is called instant runoff voting. Votes go to the people's first picks, then we check if someone has the majority. If no one does, the person with the fewest votes is kicked out, and those votes go to their second choice. That process repeats until someone gets the majority. This way, you don't have to pick between two options. You can vote for as many people as you like, and your vote between the popular two will still be counted if it comes down to it. This method of counting still has the center squeeze problem, but since you can vote for whoever you like, less mainstream opinions will be able to get more attention, and they can win if it turns out most people want them to. Here's another example. My favorite way to count ranked votes, the Condorcet method, compares candidates in pairs, counting who is ranked higher on more people's ballots. After tallying up who wins against who, most of the time there will be someone who wins against everybody else. Yes, sometimes we end up with a tie, which looks like a rock, paper, scissors type cycle, but it only happens 8% of the time with a random population, or much less than that in practice, where people share common opinions. More importantly, we've narrowed it down to people's actual favorites, and if we do get a tie, we can use another method of counting votes to pick someone out of the favorites. I want to give an honorable mention to approval voting. It's where you say yes or no to each candidate, giving a vote to each one you like. It's better in that we can get a winner almost everybody somewhat likes, but it doesn't let you express who you like the most versus who you're okay with. A ton of people like this method, and it's definitely better than plurality first past the post. Not a high bar, most things are better than first past the post. There are also good ways to elect multiple winners. An easy way is to just pick the top few winners instead of one. But we're going to run into some of the same problems as before. This is a bit more detailed though. First off, when might we use this? Although the US and UK have Congress and Parliament, representatives are chosen based on one winner per district, so this doesn't count as a multiple winner election. One example is the European Parliament. countries are represented by at least 6 representatives based on population. Each can choose how to elect those representatives, but they have to do it proportionally in some way. What this looks like can vary, but 2 main ways are party list and single transferable vote. Party list has voters pick a party instead of just a candidate, and parties are given representation proportional to the votes they get. This is good because votes given to smaller parties are likely to still go somewhere. But most likely, a party doesn't perfectly match someone's opinions, so it'd be great to support specific candidates while still getting proportional representation somehow. Turns out we can do that using single transferable vote. To start off, we rank the options like we did before. But to count the votes, we've got to remember the fraction of votes someone needs to win. With a single winner, you need over half the votes. But for more winners than that, say for 2 winners, you could have a third of the votes and still win. So whatever the winning fraction of votes is, after tallying up voters' first picks, anyone with the winning fraction of votes is given a seat. At that point, they probably have more votes than they need, so any extra will go to those voters' second choice. Then we check for winners again. Once no one else has the votes to win, whoever has the fewest votes is kicked off, like in instant runoff voting, and those votes go to their next choice. The process repeats until we have the right number of winners. We end up with a set of candidates that generally corresponds to what the people want, but without the need for a party to sort people's preferences. The idea is that each person's vote will end up on someone they roughly like, and the majority can't push everyone else out of the race. The result is a proportional group of winners without having to use a potentially restrictive party system. So, there are alternatives out there. Be that various kinds of ranked voting, approval voting, or other combinations, we don't have to be stuck with the voting system we have now. And anything's better than first past the post. In the US, there is hope we'll slowly start using more ranked voting. Some states already use instant runoff voting, and more have voted on adopting it. They didn't do too well in 2024 though, so please, remember this if you see it on your ballot, and tell your local representatives and friends on social media how cool it is. If you want to learn more, Primer made a video with cute blobs that talks about voting systems in terms of strategic voting. And HD Rookie talks about a system called star voting using a Mario Kart analogy. Thanks for watching!